Hey there guys, how's it going? My name is Sumedh Chatterjee from the Flow Zone Academy, and I'm a flow state coach, which means that I help you feel better and perform better. Today I want to speak about the two things that you need to become successful. So the first thing that you need is focus. Alright, focus. If you have 100 different tabs open, if you're speaking to the universe in a wishy-washy way, if you're having self-doubt, we'll talk about self-doubt a little bit later. I think that's a huge element to this. And if you are just scattering yourself too thin, if you are just doing so many things at once and scattering your attention and multitasking everywhere, it's going to be very, very distracting, right? And we are so distracted in the technologically advanced world, this digital overwhelm and overload. It's constantly out there. It's stimulating your brain, but then you're not doing anything with that information. That's the issue, right? It's like, if you know that, okay, I'm going to do something with this information, I'm going to use it in some way, I'm going to make something happen. The word educare, actually, from education, means to lead out. It means to lead out from within. It doesn't mean that somebody yells at you and then you ingest that knowledge. It's the self-study and the self-knowledge and the self-awareness. So when you're having doubt, you know the remedy and the antidote to that doubt is self-awareness and self-knowledge. Because a lot of the time when we doubt ourselves, it's from a concerted ego and it's from rigid thinking. It's about some limiting belief that we had in our past that is making us doubt what we're doing in the now. So let's say you don't have any reference experiences for making money. You might be doubtful. As you start making some money, as you start getting the ball rolling, as you gain much more momentum, your self-doubt will slowly vanish and be vanquished. The second one, I mentioned focus. The second one is our imagination. Imagination, image. So the word imagination comes from the Latin verb imaginare. Imaginare means to picture oneself or to form an image in one's mind. And we live in a world of images. So when I say horse, you think of a very specific horse. It's an image that's created in the mind. Maybe you imagined a white horse. For other people, they might have imagined a black horse, a brown horse, whatever, right? A tiny baby horse, a giant horse, a Trojan horse, whatever you thought of, right? Maybe you thought of a cartoon horse, but your subjective reality creates the image in the mind, all right? When we talk about manifesting and visualization is simply daydreaming of what they tell us not to do in school, right? Don't daydream, don't be a daydreamer. Well, this is what it is. You see, visualization is daydreaming with an intention, with a purpose in mind, with clarity. You see, the more clear you have your goals, the universe is going, okay, check. That's what he wants, that's what she wants. But if you're giving them really fuzzy, distorted, glitchy, wishy-washy, fluffy things to the universe, it's going to respond accordingly. So if you're like, yeah, maybe I want to stay in Rome, or I want to perhaps possibly travel somewhere else, but it'll be cool if I don't either, you know? I mean, I kind of want a woman who has blue eyes or green eyes, but I mean, I'm not super attached to it. I mean, if she has brown eyes, I'm not going to say no. Or you see what you're doing here is you are compromising your actual desires. So you have something that you want, but the doubt from others, the doubt from the self, the doubt from the media is crippling you for you to manifest and get the life that you truly want, right? So it happens very easily, and you know this, you guys know this, I'm sure you guys know this, you've heard it 1,000 times, or even more, is this idea of conditioning, right? And it's been conditioned into you, so we gotta change the programming now. Once you can spot the reason that you're doubting yourself, then you can actually change once you get to the root cause, you can change the coding of the software, so the hardware and everything runs smoother. You know, Bob Proctor, an excellent, you know, he's been in this game since a really long time. You saw him in the movie version of The Secret, but then he also has a lot of great things to say. One of his quotes that I really love is, you know, he says, "We're only limited by weakness of attention and poverty of imagination." And that's what I chose to make this video about. Poverty of imagination, where we can't really imagine. We can't imagine. We had that skill set when we were kids, but then we stopped dreaming, we stopped imagining. So do you doubt your dreams? All right, Charlie Rocket, very influential guy. I mean, I hope, fingers crossed, I'm going to write in my quantum journal that I'm going to have him on my podcast. I'm not sure yet. But he replied to me in the DM, so let's see what happens. But yeah, he stated that he has this app called Dreamer, right? And Dreamer is all about connecting people with their dreams. And I think that's a very powerful concept and example. And even on the Impulsive podcast, he was mentioning the fact that, this business idea of people actually seeing the thing that they want to do drawn out or already accomplished. So like, let's say that you imagine yourself holding up the YouTube gold plaque. You imagine yourself on stage speaking in a grand auditorium to a large audience, right? It's like drawing out the image, the imagination to picture oneself. Like that would be such a powerful thing, right? To be able to actually see that. Or creating like a sort of, in my own opinion, it could be even more valuable to Photoshop, right? To Photoshop images of ourselves into these situations to actually inspire us with our vision boards even more, right? That's just my personal take on it. But anyway, also speaking similarly, I saw Yogi Chris has a tattoo. If you guys don't know Yogi Chris, he trains a lot with, Arash Dibazar, who's a very powerful relationship coach. Actually, one of the people who've changed my life specifically. So, he has this tattoo which says, doubt, doubt. And I love that process. It's like a reverse engineering. It's a deconstructing of the thing itself. It's like doubting doubt itself, questioning doubt itself. And I think that's very powerful because once you can doubt, you can start to create your creations. You can start using that same kind of thinking and concept in other things that you do as well, right? And I think it's super powerful to kind of deconstruct, decode, decrypt what is happening there, right? So if you're doubting anything, doubt your doubt, okay? And when we begin something new, we're going to get resistance from the world. A lot of people, they give up. And that's totally normal, but you want to make it a habit for you. You want to make it a thought habit. Make it a thought form, right? A thought form is like you think it so much, start thinking about it so much that your selective focus and your self-fulfilling prophecy gets it to happen for you, right? So you're thinking about that thing so much, it's in your mind, but it's not so much that thing is out there and I'm here. That's still creating a disconnection. So it's the fact that, I'm ready to receive, baby. I've already got it. It's already mine. It's already here. So what I want, I assume the feelings of what those things will give me. So let's say that I want to be a best-selling author, all right? I'm speaking it into existence. I got my book coming out, right? So let's say that I want that. I would assume the feeling of what that feels like to be a best-selling author. What does that feel like? Feels aligned, feels light, feels... The word that's coming to my mind right now is powerful. I feel powerful, but not in the way of hierarchy of power, but it's a spiritual power. It's just a feeling of I am guided. So you want to do this process, right? What does it feel like? I feel happy, I feel joy. Well, what does that, embody that joy? Start smiling more, start embodying that more, right? Back in the days when I felt very depressed, I would write on my hand, smile. Actually, like I actually did this, guys. When I was super, super down in the dumps, I would actually write it on my hand so I kept seeing it over and over again. Smile, 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 smile. And after a while, it started to become a practice of me just opening up, feeling lighter. What does it feel like to actually be happy? Some of us don't even have a reference of what it feels like to be happy. So we have to act as is, right? And so you want much more money, you want the good body, get clear on how much, get clear on the number on the scale, right? Because the subconscious sends energy to clarity. The subconscious mind sends energy to clarity. And what if you already had it? How would that feel like? Well, I'd be happy, I'd be showing up differently, I'd be smiling bigger, I'd be giving people high fives, I'd be, get clear on that and then start embodying that and actually acting it out. Right, in my new book, TPM, I discuss this concept as well, but basically you want to understand that you were born to be a creator. You were born to imagine, with the skill set to imagine. Animals they don't have forethought. They don't have that ability to imagine or understand different scenarios. So we were given this gift from God, right? And the word enthusiasm, I posted about this today. It's come from the Greek word entheos, which means the God within. All right. Now I think that's so powerful. I don't know what you feel about that, but I got that quote from Earl Nightingale, who's also a very, very prominent speaker. If you guys have ever watched the movie The Founder, Ray Kroc, right? He was the founder of McDonald's, right? And he would listen to these records these old, self-help records about persistence, right? And I feel like maybe that was Earl Nightingale. I'm not too sure who he was listening to. But yeah, Earl Nightingale is one of those guys, man. If you listen to any of his old stuff, he just had these OGs in the game. You know what I mean? Like, you got Neville Goddard, you got Earl Nightingale, man. You got listen to all these people. Even I fell asleep to Napoleon Hill speaking once about a certain topic, and I just woke up feeling different. It was different. I had a different energy. I felt much more structured throughout my day. I also fell asleep to the Bible like a week back, right? And that changed my frequency. So I love just like falling asleep to audiobooks to get it into my subconscious mind. I don't know if that's something that you want to do, but I mean, hey, it's working for me, and I just share what works for me. You know what I mean? So, Bruce Lee had this idea, so I want to share this idea with you about focus, okay? Bruce Lee had this idea of if you look a little bit above eye level, right? It just keeps your head tilted slightly up. I don't know if that's a subconscious thing. It's just like, keep your head up, they say. Keep your chin up. In that sense, you sort of want to just have it slightly above eye level, right? You just want to stare at it and build that focus. Have a dot, have a symbol, have something that you look at to really build that focus by actually doing that. And you can do this similarly with a lot of mirror work. I love mirror work, guys. Play your favorite song all the way through and just make eye contact with yourself in the mirror. And don't compensate. Don't smirk, don't smile, don't bob your head. Don't do anything to look cool. Your ego will want to do those things. It'll want to look away. It'll want to scratch your nose. It'll want to do all sorts of things, right? But just be present with that and look at yourself with non-judgment. In school, we are taught to be very logical. We're taught with logic, right? You do this, you get a D minus. Okay, very logical. It's a measure. However, our subconscious mind, it works along the lines of creativity. So your subconscious mind is all about intuition. It works more like symbolically, you know what I mean? It's very abstract. It's about emotion. It's about imagination. One could make the argument that it's much more of the feminine energy too, right? So you cannot measure or mark creativity. You have an artwork that some art critic is going, yes, I quite like the color palette here, but this texture is wrong. It feels a little bit, counterproductive, or whatever he's doing, right? This kind of art critic that's giving you his interpretation. It's a subjective lens, right? Another person might see that painting or drawing and be like, wow, I love that. I love the color palette you use there, right? So it's this thing which you cannot mark or measure, right? It's subjective. So in whatever you do, you have to get to that core creativity and the reason that you're feeling the way that you're feeling. And when you're aligned to your passion, man, just doors open, new opportunities will come in. When you're coming from that enthusiasm, when you have that God within, it's just so, get away from that doubt. Doubt, I would say doubt is like Mephistopheles, right? In the story of Dr. Faustus, that demon that came in and like sort of got him to, follow a certain path. It's like, that's the demon of doubt. As far as I know, someone told me that. I'm not too sure about that, but correct me if I'm wrong. Get rid of that demon of doubt. You don't need that there. And, Ralph Waldo Emerson also understood this concept of like, envy is ignorance and imitation is suicide. We get so envious of others and we start to pretend to be somebody. When I first began my coaching journey, I wasn't like, I'm going to try to be like Tony Robbins or try to be like Gary Vee or I was like, I'm going to fully try and embody myself. I might be inspired by those people and take little nuggets from them and try to incorporate it into my own body and basic philosophy and ideas and values, but I'm not going to be like them, right? Because imitation is like you are actually, what he means by suicide is like imitation is you're killing the authenticity, right? You are removing the pureness of who you truly are to try and imitate somebody else and try to be like them, right? Whereas that like deep within your heart, you want to be somebody else. It's always like that self-awareness, again, that's going to override the doubt that comes in. I have a kind of a mathematical formula in terms of like hard work equals certainty, which equals abundance. I believe that hard work, or actually working towards something, not that it has to be hard work, because a lot of people feel it's difficult work. No, it can be easy, right? Hard work can be easy. That's a paradox for you to really wrap your mind around. Hard work can be easy if you have fun doing it. right? If you have that passion behind you and you know exactly what it is that you're enthusiastic about, which you're, which you're passionate about, right? It's going to be so natural to you. And then from there, it's just a part of the process. You know, when I first began coaching, I didn't get any clients, but so I would start giving free client calls, right? I would give a lot of those just to get a reference experience for helping others. And it was a part of my course, actually. So I did a master's in applied positive psychology and coaching psychology from East London. And there we had to, as a part of our curriculum, we had to coach people. Where we had to coach a certain amount of people to get certain credits to be able to pass the course. And as I was coaching there, I was trying to be a certain coach, you know what I mean? I was trying to portray a coach rather than just being a coach at first. And then I started to realize something. Coaching is not about the coach, it's about the client or the coachee, right? It's not about the coach. You know, my earlier brand was called Coaching with Sum. It's all about me, right? But I changed that up. I got to that realization, man. It's, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go with the tribe, right? Go with others. Move with the pack. And the Upward Spiral Gang, the Flow Zone Academy, what I'm trying to do here is create a pack. You know, even you guys who subscribe to these videos, all 115 of you guys, you're part of this pack. All right, we're creating this movement, this flow state movement of upward spiral momentum, where we're truly embodied, we're conscious, we are integrated, and we're coming into this world with a dedication, with a presence, with a power, with a certainty, with zero doubt that it's bound to happen. It's already here. It's already mine. We gonna make it. Let's get it. Upward Spiral Gang, positive vibes, good momentum. Let's get it. Have an amazing rest of your day. May the flow be with you and stay legendary. Peace out.